Ford makes the least reliable, most problematic truck on the market. So why do I have 3 of them in my driveway? So in this video, I want to talk about all the problems that I've been having with these Ford trucks over the years in one place, one video. So I'm going to start off, I guess, with this 2021 Power Boost that we have. This is my wife's daily driver. It's a cool truck because it is the Power Boost, and basically what that does, it gives you a 7.2 kilowatt outlet inside of the bed of the truck, and also in the inside you have 120 volt outlets, which is real nice. So when you look back here, you can see that you have the big outlet right here, or the bigger ones right here, 30 amps at 240 volts, which is very cool. So the thing about Ford is they're always going out there and taking some risk with their products, and this is one of those things. Like, they do things a lot of times out of the box. So for a long time they had a ton of problematic engines, but they were one of the first companies to go with like a dual overhead cam type of engine, aside from Japanese companies, which actually honestly did the engines a lot better. Ford will take risk, and sometimes it's not to their favor. But this is one of those things where they're most certainly taking a risk. They're putting all this different technology into a truck at one time. And actually, I've had no issues at all with this system. Granted, I don't use it that much, but it is a hybrid truck, and it does turn the motor off, the gasoline engine off quite a bit while it's driving. And it does do all this other stuff that's complicated. And you think about the amount of service with this vehicle, we've had no issues with this truck. So what I've found with the Ford vehicles is the F-150s have been pretty reliable in my experience, particularly the ones built in Dearborn. This truck, I think we are at 13,000 miles on this thing. No issue so far. I know it's low miles, but her commute's pretty short. I also purchased a 2.7 leased a 2.7 EcoBoost. That was my first Ford truck. Never went to the dealer, never had any problems. Drove it for about 25,000 miles, no problems. After that, I got a 3.5 EcoBoost. Drove that one for about 36,000 miles. Only thing that truck had to go to the dealership for was a sunroof. So the sunroof did fail. I wasn't maintaining it, but if you maintain your sunroof with the seals and everything, with the lubrications that you can put on the seals for the sunroof, you won't have any problems out of it. After that, I got a white F-250 that had a 6.2 liter gas V8. Never went to the dealer for much of anything, but I did have something covered under Powertrain warranty. So on my F-250, my 6.2, the white one that I had before, if you follow the channel for a number of years, you've probably seen it before. But basically, this stopped turning on the white 250, and now on my 19 250, the hub lock here is it's stuck now, and that's kind of gonna come with the territory as these vehicles age. It's just the elements and everything just gets to this. It still functions for a vacuum system, but you got the plastic up against the aluminum, and it just doesn't. The design just doesn't last forever. I don't know if there's, they say to keep turning these periodically, but for me, I obviously don't remember to do that. Cool thing is, once these won't turn anymore, you can take these in and get them factory warranted, and they'll just replace it for you under Powertrain warranty. And that's what I did with the white 250. Haven't done it with this truck, but it's just now starting to not function anymore. So that's one of the things with the 250s. But it still works. Like, the 4-wheel drive still works. It's just one of those things. With the white, after the white 250, this 19 I purchased, and we had this thing for like 4 years now. And only thing with this truck is the water leak, and having this weird water leak. If you've been following the channel, you've probably seen it. This weird water leak has been so difficult to find, and we finally located it and corrected it. But in the process, it also took out the audio system because everything got so wet inside of the truck. I'm still in the process of drying it out. So the carpet, you can see it's still slightly moist underneath, but this rubber really holds the moisture, so I'll be lifting this up and letting it air out some more. But this whole truck was getting totally saturated with rain, and it eventually filled up the seal plate, submerged my harness, and that took out some features of the truck, some radio operation. So that does suck. It's one of those things that come on forward. But that's probably the biggest issue that I've really had with these trucks. Now, with that said, they've never let me down or never stranded me or anything like that. But anyway, let's take a look at our 7.3. So this is our 2022 7.3, and it is pretty good. One of the things that is going on with the truck, pretty minor, but as you're turning the steering wheel, you can hear the clock spring kind of making a slight noise. Again, not a big enough issue for me to worry too much about right now, and I tend to kind of put things off for too long. I admit that I do tend to put things off for too long, and it makes a little noise as it's turning, as you're doing lock to lock. So, I don't even know if that's warrantyable or not. I don't know if I really want to mess too much with it. Oh, another thing, the APIM on this truck had to get replaced immediately because the camera system was not functioning at all. So that's kind of how this has been going. Sometimes it makes a little bit of a noise when you start it up. It sounds like the power steering pump or something when it's real cold. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the belt squeals when it's cold. So kind of a weird situation with this one. Nonetheless, nothing really consistently wrong with it, just weird little minor stuff. Also, though, before we got this truck, we had a 2020 F450, and that truck was pretty solid. It did get into an accident, but other than that, it was pretty solid. It did consume a little bit of oil, so that was a thing, but nothing crazy. But also, too, now that I think about it, the white 250 that we had consumed oil. The 6.2 V8 in that engine consumed oil, and it ended up needing a valve cover in order to be good to go. So that truck got a new valve cover under warranty, and it was good. But all in all, it's been pretty decent. I'm not one to complain too much, but I still feel like they're the best truck on the market with the Super Duties, with the solid axles up front, the aluminum bodies. Despite the mechanical problems that you can have, this truck plowing all these years, the body's been holding up great. No rust, no problems like that. The resale's real good because of that. So I think, despite the issues, I feel like Ford still makes hands down the best product out there. So comment below and tell me what you guys think. Let me know what kind of issues you guys have been having, and comment below. Hope to see you soon in the next video. This is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Over and out.